Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 6. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. All right, so this episode starts off beautifully. The editors did a great job. They went all the way back to season 4 and broke down the relationship of Kandi and Marlo. And they took it all the way up until now. Now listen, I totally appreciate the producers for showing this footage. It was unseen footage that they had recorded throughout, Marlo's time on the show. And to me, it proved that Marlo was lying quite a bit. She said that Kandi helped her more than anybody else, any of the other housewives. However, she always likes to say that Kandi doesn't help people, which we all know is not true. Kandi is very philanthropic. She loves to give back to the community, and she also loves to step up and support and help her friends in any way that she can. I'm telling you, the way the production value has gone up on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and the production value has gone up also over there on The Real Housewives of OC. I'm not sure who the editors are, who's producing these 2 seasons, but as far as the film quality, the editing quality, they are doing great. Now, over here at Atlanta, they've been kind of dry. The peach is rotten a little bit. We need to bring back, Phaedra, bring back Portia, bring back Nene, or freshen it up and, bring in some new girls. We need to do something. But the production quality is definitely really good. One thing that I found about this is, first of all, Marlo had no idea that her nephew worked for Old Lady Gang. And when she asked Kandi said she didn't know either, but she would check. So Kandi didn't truly 100% know this kid. Marlo did later in the episodes show pictures of Quentin with the Old Lady Gang staff, a picture of Quentin with Kandi. But I would say, the CEO of the business that I work for, he walks around speaking to people, shaking hands, taking pictures. He doesn't know us. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that Kandi's restaurant business is so huge that she, shouldn't be able to recognize people, but I'm saying that she's probably not on first name basis with everyone who works for her. I thought that Kandi was very understanding with Marlo. She says that she absolutely gets why Marlo is so upset over the loss of her nephew. She knows that Marlo actually thinks of her nieces and nephews as her own children. And Kandi says that she feels the same way about her little cousins. So she understood. We see Marlo talking to her managers, the married couple, and they were talking to her about dating. And I said, you know what? This scene looks like a scene. It looks real scripted, talking about Marlo dating. And then Marlo making some comment, what if he touches my butt? That just seemed really fake and phony. Somebody like Marlo would know absolutely what to do if a man touched your butt, whether it was wanted or unwanted. Come on now, stop playing with us. Marlo says that Kandi uses the show as advertisement, and I would like to say, of course she does, and so does every other housewife on every other franchise that has a business. They use this show as an infomercials, and that's what they should do, and that's what I would do. We drop it with Drew all the time. We She by Sheree all the time. We Vita Tequila all the time. We were Turtle Time, and we Cabaret. There's all kinds of things that these women are selling, and they should be able to do that. Why else be on a national syndicated program that is all over the world? Because this is worldwide. If I was a housewife, I would have 37 businesses, and I would be talking about every last one of them in each episode. And not only that, I would be wearing all the products. Every t-shirt said my business name. Are you kidding me? Marlo, go to hell on. We have heard you talk about La Archive multiple times. Now, Marlo telling her manager what happened with Drew was a total rewrite. I said, ma'am, well, what the hell? She acted as if she was just this calm angel who sat there quietly and allowed Drew to speak. Girl, if you don't shut the hell up, Marlo is a real piece of work. But let me tell you something, this management team, wow, okay, Marlo, y'all deserve each other. The one guy manager said, well, how does your sister feel? What did your sister say? And I said, yeah, what did your sister say? Because you are using your sister's trauma, the loss of her child, as a storyline. That would never be okay with me. I tell you right now, I would never speak to her again. You are not about to dredge up the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life and string this across the television. Don't try to sell my pain. The truth is, Candy doesn't owe Marlo or her family anything, and neither does Drew. And Marlo, you cannot tell Drew what words to use. However, I do need Drew to stop saying that because you're from Chicago, you don't say shooting. I don't buy it. I do realize that the crime rate and the gang violence in Chicago is out of control. I realize that. But there are definitely people from Chicago who still use the word shooting, whether they're from the south side, west side, east side, or north side. People still say shooting, and there's violence on every side of Chicago. Now, there are probably areas in Chicago that's less violent, but I'm just saying, those of you peeps who are from Chicago, do you use the word shooting? I mean, get down in the comments and let me know. Now, this manager of hers, she comes back and says some stupid shit like, well, you know, she personally should have sent everybody flowers. Marlo makes the comment about catering. I said I knew I was right. I have said for the last 2 videos, Marlo doesn't care about Candy not sending her condolences. Marlo wanted Candy to pay for that entire funeral, and she wanted Candy to cater that funeral. Candy did not have to do anything. She was there for you. She supported you. She hugged you through it. Cut the shit. It is not her responsibility to pay for the funeral or cater or send flowers. Would that have been a beautiful gesture? Absolutely. But is that her job? Is that her responsibility? Absolutely not. She told you that he doesn't work there anymore. He was gone long before he was shot. Then Marlo, at some point in the story, did try to say that the person that shot her nephew also worked with Candy. That guy did not work with Candy. Marlo tried to make it seem as if any employee who works for Candy who passes away, it should be her responsibility to take care of them. Now, if they are a current employee and they have passed away, I know at my job, they will send the family flowers and a card. And that's something that Candy could do for current employees. But my current job, they don't send it for past employees, just current employees. I don't know. I think past employees I think it would be a nice touch if they did it for past employees who gave their service as well. But that's not mandatory. And it's not Candy's problem. It's not Candy's job. And then they were talking about this new girls get together they were going to have with Courtney, and Marlo says that she hopes all the ladies show up and act like mature adults. I said, well, Marlo, why don't you lead by example? Show the hell up and act like a mature adult for the first time ever. So we get over to Sanya's house, and she's super excited. She's prancing around the kitchen. Her Mommy Nation merchandise has been picked up by somebody called, I think she said belt.com, which I have never heard of them, but this is a big deal because she says they get about 17 million views or clicks on their website. So this is really exciting for her and her business. I would be over the moon if I was her. However, Sanya brings up how she feels about her brother-in-law quitting. And, you know, she's sorry that she upset her sister by letting her know, you know, that Ross wants everybody out. Listen, later in the episode, Sanya says that Drew is a lapdog. And I would like to say, Sanya, pot kettle, honey. You are a lapdog for your family. You are a lapdog for Marlo and Sheree. That's all. I'm going to say that. Sanya's sister has an attitude. She is always getting smart. She is always acting as if her and her husband move out. It's going to be the end of the world for Sanya. Sanya, this is your moment to prove it. Put your sister and your mom and daddy out. Okay, it's time for them to go. You need to hire yourself a real team, get yourself a real qualified personal assistant, and whatever else you need. Get yourself a good babysitter slash nanny who can be there for Deuce when you and Ross can't. You and Ross need to get on a tight schedule and put all of Deuce's activities on it as well. You have been a crutch for your family. They are staying in your house, working for you, and they mistreat you as far as I'm concerned. And by they, I mean the sister, not the mom. But the mom said that she wanted to move to Florida. Her and daddy was going to move to Florida and get their life. Now, all of a sudden, her and daddy don't want to move. Okay, everybody needs to move. You are all grown people. Just go on and go. Sanya, you need to be able to figure out your life without your family as your employees and family. This is the time to separate family and employment before y'all blow up the whole daggone thing. It's just weird to me that her sister talks so crazy and you live in her house. The way I would open the door and put you the hell out, girl, bye. We see Kenya wearing her hard hat, honey. She is opening up the Kenya Moore Hair Care Spa Salon, and it looks like it is about to be gorgeous. It is huge in there, and I think it's going to be great. She's putting down several $100,000s to make this beauty empire of hers even bigger, and I'm super excited for Kenya. She does talk to Akila, and she was talking about her dating and how she's been a wife for the last 5 years. Now listen, I don't mean to be rude, but I chuckled a tiny bit. I said, girl, y'all were separated longer than you were married. Y'all didn't even live in the same house. And then you were separated for like 3 of those 5 years. I really just wouldn't go around putting a number on it. I'm just saying. And I really like this Akila lady. I think that she's one of those people that's beautiful on the inside and out. She just seems like a real down-to-earth girl. I like her. Kenya was telling her about the Marlo situation, and she seemed completely shocked. I would be shocked too if I hadn't watched the show, finding out who Marlo really is. Kenya said the only way that her and Marlo will ever be friends again is if Marlo renegotiates her deal with the devil. And I hollered. I said, you know what? Kenya is crazy as hell. And I never would have thought to say something like that. That is shady as hell. However, it did remind me of that old Ralph Macchio movie, either the late 80s or early 90s, called Crossroads. You know what? I'm going to have to watch that movie again. Remember when the guy went down to the crossroads and met with Legba? I'm just saying, that was such a good movie. I'm going to watch that this week before I go to the Bahamas. Maybe today. I'm just saying. Then we get a chance to see Sheree's grandbaby. Oh my gosh, this little girl is adorable. Her name is Mecca, and Sheree is so excited to be a glam mom. She is going by Gigi. She is seriously excited, and seeing her excited and crying and so happy, it just got me thinking, I can't wait till I'm a grandma. And my grandbabies are going to call me Nana. I love that. I love Nana. Anyway, this is not about me. So it turns out that Cairo is doing a really good job being a dad. She says that he is up doing the late night feeding, the diaper change. She is really excited. She said she never had that. And even though this is not about me, I never had that either. Everything was just me. Everything was on me. From the moment of conception, it was all me. And that shit is not easy. So I am super excited to see her son stepping up to the plate, taking care of his baby, being an active part of his baby's life. Love it. I thought these little ornament ideas was really cute with the fingerprints and the footprints and all that stuff. Did anybody notice the baby had that cute little bracelet on? I thought it was adorable. I mean, Sheree was so proud of her son. She was in tears. And I get it. I really do. When you raise a child and they grow up to be productive citizens, young men who are true gentlemen, it'll bring you to tears. And the same for little girls. You get to crying and carrying on because those are the kids that you raised and you did good, moms. It'll make you cry. I see why she was crying. Honey, we went from Cairo, the good dad, over to Ralph's house. I said, oh, Lord, not the sneak off to Tampa dude. Oh, this man. Then we see Drew. She says she is nurturing her children's passions. She says that she believes that if your children have a passion for something, mom should help them nurture that. And her sons are passionate about basketball. And I'm here for that. I did the same for my son. He was into basketball. I paid for a coach. Single mom, one salary, trying to bust my butt, going to college, working full-time, college full-time, trying to pay for a basketball coach, all of this stuff. It was a struggle, but that's my baby. And that's my job as a mom, to nurture his passion. And that's what my mom did for me. That's all I'm gonna say. My mom was very passionate about us, and it showed. Drew is still sticking with, she doesn't say the word shooting. And girl, I just want to say, stop lying. Either you are clearly lying and you know you're lying, or you just don't realize that you used the word shooting. I mean, girl, stop it. When she explains everything to Ralph that happened regarding her and the Marlo situation, and the whole, they were arguing over the Candy didn't send flowers, and Marlo was upset that Drew didn't use the word shooting and everything. It was ridiculous. Ralph was looking at her and he said, is that what this was about? This has nothing to do really with Drew or Candy. This is Marlo reaching and trying to get a storyline. And I just want to say on a side note that Drew's wigs are incredible. Drew's wigs and hair pieces are always on point. Now the first season, not so much, but she came back with a vengeance. Okay, that woman makes sure that her hair is always on perfect. I love it. Drew says that when she meets Marlo at this escape event that cousin Courtney is having, which I wish she would stop saying cousin Courtney. This is ridiculous. You guys just met this woman and she's irritating as hell. Anyway, she says that if Marlo approaches her or touches her or does anything crazy, she's going to have to whoop Marlo's ass. And Ralph says, you not beating her. That's a big one. Listen, big people fall harder. Okay, if you approach me, you step in my face, you could get popped. Now, I don't condone violence, but if I feel threatened, it's going to be some violence. I'm just saying. Now, Candy and Todd are talking about Todd's movie that he's writing, and I didn't care. Anyway, Candy calls Kenya, who's having a party for Brooklyn, and Kenya has some red wig on. I said, look at her. She's the Little Mermaid. Anyway, they were talking about this event escape room thing that Courtney has set up. Kenya says she didn't tell them any of the details. She is not there to get her hair all jacked up. Her hair is insured. And Candy said, well, this ain't none of my hair, but I would put on some kind of cap, a shower cap or something. Candy looks like she had just got her hair done. And she said, no, ma'am, I got things to do, places to go, and people to see. I am not about to show up there and get paint and everything else in my hair. It's not going to happen. However, Kenya breaks it down to Candy everything that Marlo said to Drew about nephew Quentin. Candy said that this situation happened back in 2020, and her and Marlo have had many times to talk and to see each other in person and everything, and Marlo has never brought this disappointment up to Candy. Candy also said the person who killed her nephew did not work for her, and that her nephew had not been working for Candy for quite some time. All right, so it's time to get down to the main event. They are headed down to this escape room, and the ladies all show up looking gorgeous from head to toe. Me personally, when me and my friends and family went to the escape room, I had on tennis shoes, t-shirt, and jeans. You know, we locked in this daggone room. We got about an hour and 45 minutes to get the hell out of here. I don't have time to be cute, wearing heels and carrying on. Anyway, what I thought was absolutely hilarious is Marlo came in there with her fake, hey everybody, hi guys, oh my gosh. And Drew paid her dust. She said hello to Drew 2 or 3 times, and Drew just looked at her and went on like she was invisible. I said, not Casper. Anyway, Candy walks in and Sanya says hello to Candy. She's checking to see how Candy's doing. Candy gives her a look that says, I am already on 110. I am not having a good time. I don't feel good and I'm over it. Listen, Candy pulls up just like me and my girlfriends do. When we all get together, We don't like a whole bunch of public embarrassment and acting a fool. We don't do that. But when we get together and there's tension, there's a relationship in the group that has a problem, whoever the ladies are in that issue, they usually sit down as soon as we have ordered our drinks. Once the drinks have been delivered, the first thing they say is, so what's up? What's going on? What's happening? What is your problem? And then they hash it out between them while the rest of us sit back in silence, letting those ladies hash it out. Once they have hashed it out, chopped it up, decided if they're going to continue to move forward in the friendship or let it go, we commence to drinking and eating. We don't have time for the BS. So Candy came in, did exactly that. She steps to Marlo and says, what's up? Candy said, not today, Satan. And I sat there waiting to hear, not today, Nick. But it didn't come. Anyway, I do appreciate how Candy just brought it straight to Marlo. Marlo said, well, let me and you and Drew talk. So they go off to the side. All right, so this was weird to me because Marlo, I don't think she understands that you can't be the villain and the victim at the same time. You know, you got to pick a role. Are you the victim here, ma'am? Have you been wronged? Or are you the villain? You know, as far as I'm watching, you the villain in this situation. Marlo is upset that the girls keep bringing up her past, you know, her mugshots, her arrest, you know, the things that she allegedly did or whatever in her past. But Marlo, we have seen you multiple times bring up things that happened in the past for these ladies as well. You know, you have said some of the most vile things that we have ever heard on this show. We have not forgotten how you treated Kenya about her mother, even though you and your mother have a similar situation, and you run this girls' charity thing. You would think that being in charge of a charity for underprivileged girls, that you would behave totally different on national worldwide television. You would also think, due to your problems in your past as a child, dealing with your mother and your adopted families and things like that, that you would have a little sympathy for Kenya and what she's been through. Now listen, you came over to Candy's house and she embraced you. She emphasized with you. She was there for you. Now you're in this woman's face in front of everyone trying to act as if Candy was dismissive. That is not true. You need to go on and exit the building. Marlo is always expecting so much from Candy. Candy is not your mother. She is not responsible to raise you or fund your life. You want Candy to do. And then when Courtney offered to hook you up with an attorney who could help you expunge your record, you got all upset like that's Candy's job to do that. Yes, Candy is a wealthy person. Yes, she is a giving person, but it is not her job to fund your BS. Go on somewhere with that. Now, Candy ran off with tears after she threatened to, choke you out or whatever she was saying. And it's understandable. I hate to admit it, but it is true. I am one of those people. When something is bothering me and I just keep it held in, when the anger bubbles up like a brewing tea kettle, the floodgates burst open and the tears come. And that's when you should know that you in danger, girl, because I'm about to light you up. And I hate to admit that that is me, but it is. It doesn't happen often anymore because I'm a grown up. I'm a mom now. But before I was a mom and I was in the world out in these streets, if you came at me and you just kept pressing me, it would be some violence in the town. I'm just saying. That's who I used to be. So I understand what Candy is saying. What Marlo is doing is absolutely evil and wrong. Candy doesn't owe you, your family, anything. And you keep bringing this up. You are insinuating that she is not a good person. And you kept saying that she's got bad character. Ma'am, go directly to the mirror and check out how your character is represented. Go look at how you present yourself and your character, how you hold yourself in the public. And if you act this way publicly, how do you behave in private? And I appreciate that Kenya was there for Kandi, because Kandi has way more to lose than Marlo. Kandi has way more to lose than Marlo. And it takes a friend to pull another person who is that angry to the side and say, no, ma'am, this is not what we're doing. We are going to leave. You know, I totally understand. I really do. Sanya out here again with the calling Drew a lapdog. Girl, you lap at the feet of Marlo and Sheree. And it's real funny because last season you were over there all over Kenya and Kandi because they had the most followers and you really wanted to be all up their butts. Now all of a sudden it's all about Sheree and Marlo. And they keep bringing up my past. You keep calling Kandi a hoe. You call her a hoe every season. She has been married for almost 10 years now and you are still out here calling this woman a hoe. And I think it's really weird and odd to me that Sheree has seen how Marlo treats people. Marlo has disrespected Sheree on a number of occasions, but here she is over here Team Marlo. I don't understand. Where are you taking this, Sheree? To me, and this is just my opinion, I think that Marlo is completely, utterly jealous of Kandi. Instead of allowing Kandi to be a motivator for her, instead of allowing Kandi to be a real friend to her and help guide her in her career and future endeavors, instead of picking up on business clues from Kandi and Kenya, she is just throwing it all away for no reason. If I was in this group, even if I owned a business or not, when Kenya and Kandi talked about their businesses, I would be listening. I would absolutely be listening. What the hell is it that Kandi is saying right now? What is Kenya talking about with her distribution? All of that information. If Todd is around, I want to hear about his producing, his production. I might have a few $100,000 here that I might be able to invest in some sort of television or movie production. Hey Todd, I know you're working on this new movie. Can I invest? Can I be, some sort of producer on it? Maybe I can style your movie. Something. These are missed opportunities. You are doing too much, Marlo. And you know what? Sanya and Sheree kept saying that Kandi's got a clique. But didn't they do the same thing? I mean, aren't you guys all clicked up? Sanya, Sheree, Courtney, and Marlo. So why can't Kandi have a crew? And I don't think that they're a clique. I think they're really trying to be Kandi's friends. They are trying to have her back. Now, when Drew called Marlo a trick, Sanya got so upset. Oh my gosh, she was outraged. But when Marlo was in there talking mad crap about Kandi, I didn't see any outrage on Sanya's face. And to me, Sanya is a flip-flopper. She flocks to whoever she's with. I'm not here for Sanya. Sanya can go on and go. All I can say is, Sanya, girl, you riding with the wrong team, because it'll be either later this season or next season when Marlo turns on you and all of a sudden you become her storyline. I don't know, you guys. What do you think? I am really tired of Marlo and this one trick pony that she likes to ride every season. It's always either Kenya or Kandi. Marlo, girl, you need to stop this, because you best believe the Real Housewives of Atlanta will get rid of you way before they get rid of Kandi. I'm just saying, quit playing with us. Also, the comment that Drew made about Marlo being aggressive. Listen, I hate when any woman is called aggressive. I really do. But I believe that in this incident, Marlo and Kandi were both aggressive. And I think it was just because of the heat of the moment. Kandi was heated. And I can't blame her, because they would be out here calling me aggressive. On a regular basis, I'm not aggressive. But when you push me, honey, listen, I'm aggressive. Yeah, that just reminded me of that song, Don't Push Me, 'Cause I'm Close to the Edge. Anyway, honey, I'm trying not to lose my head. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, I will stop before I end up getting some kind of strike. But listen, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.